Hi everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of my wildlife journey. This time, I'm taking you deep into the heart of Maharashtra, to the enchanting Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve. Our adventure began in Hyderabad, covering a distance of approximately 430 kilometers, all fueled by one thrilling goal: to witness the majestic tigers of Tadoba up close. We reached by afternoon, the forest era already thick with promise. Our stay was right next to the forest boundary, a perfect setup to soak in the wild vibes. After a quick lunch and a moment to settle in, we wasted no time and headed out for our very first safari from the Zari Peth Gate. What would the jungle have in store for us today? Let's find out. As we ventured deeper into the forest, the jungle slowly began to reveal its secrets. Not far from the gate, a sudden movement caught our eye. A monitor lizard, stealthy and alert, had just descended from a tree stump. Possibly on the hunt for its next meal, it prowled the forest floor with measured grace. We watched, fascinated, as it moved with surprising agility. For a moment, it paused, sensing our presence perhaps, before swiftly retreating back into the safety of the hollow stump it had come from. A short yet thrilling encounter, a gentle reminder that every creature here, no matter how small or elusive, plays its part in the rhythm of the wild. A little further down the track, hidden amidst the shadows of the towering sal trees, we spotted something massive yet incredibly calm: a family of Indian gars. These gentle giants stood quietly within the woods, their muscular frames blending seamlessly with the dappled light. A large male stood watch, vigilant and protective, while a few females and a calf grazed peacefully nearby. It's always humbling to witness these formidable herbivores in their natural habitat, silent, powerful, and completely at ease in the jungle they call home. As we ventured deeper into Tadoba's core, the forest suddenly fell quiet. Up ahead, a cluster of safari jeeps had come to a standstill, a clear sign that something special was unfolding. We eased in alongside them, hearts pounding in anticipation. And there, nestled under the shade of a dense bush, lay a young tiger, calm, alert, and utterly regal. Our guide shared that this was a 2-year-old male, one of the cubs of the legendary Tigris T5. Recently separated from his mother, he was now charting his own path, learning the ways of the wild, and beginning the journey to claim a territory of his own. Though still young, his eyes held the fire of the jungle, a silent promise that one day he too would be a dominant force in these woods. We waited, patiently. The jungle held its breath, and so did we. After nearly an hour of silence and anticipation, the young tiger finally stirred. Slowly, deliberately, he rose, his movements graceful yet cautious, scanning the surroundings, aware of the dozen eyes fixed on him from the nearby jeeps. And then, as if testing his own courage, he began to move right toward us. Our hearts raced as this magnificent cat walked gracefully by, giving us a moment that every wildlife lover dreams of: a direct, unhindered gaze. Just meters away, he paused briefly, then slipped silently into the forest, his stripes blending into the undergrowth until he was gone, like a whisper in the wild. Moments like these, they stay with you forever. As we moved ahead, the forest seemed to soften. Beneath the comforting shade of an ancient tree, we spotted a family of grey langurs, taking refuge from the afternoon heat. The mother sat calmly, her baby clinging tightly to her belly, its tiny eyes peeking out, curious and innocent. Nearby, the watchful father kept a vigilant eye on us. A little further down the trail, the forest offered us yet another quiet marvel, a lone sambar deer, standing still amidst the trees. It looked straight at us, unblinking, its eyes deep, calm, and knowing. And just as the jungle began to quiet down again, we came across a spotted deer, elegantly grazing in the golden glow of the forest. Its coat, dappled with white spots, blended beautifully with the filtered sunlight. Calm, alert, and always aware of its surroundings, it lifted its head briefly and acknowledged our presence, before returning to its rhythm of grazing. The spotted deer may be one of the more common sights in the Indian jungle, but their grace, their gentle nature, and their place in the food chain make them one of the forest's most essential storytellers. Every encounter, whether rare or familiar, holds its own quiet magic in Tadoba. As we continued on our journey, the forest suddenly burst with color. We spotted an Indian pitta busy foraging through the undergrowth. With its vivid plumage of green, blue, and yellow, this little jewel of the jungle hopped swiftly from one spot to another, rarely staying still. It was a delight to watch, and to our surprise, this wasn't a one-off sighting. We saw several pittas during the safari, each one giving us fleeting yet beautiful glimpses as they darted about, full of energy and charm. We managed to grab some fantastic shots before they vanished into the dense foliage. And with our hearts and memory cards a little fuller, we proceeded deeper into the forest. In another part of the forest, the magic of Tadoba struck again. There, in a serene waterhole tucked away in the jungle, we spotted the second cub of the legendary Tigris T5. This one cooling off from the summer heat, half submerged and utterly relaxed. For nearly 30 minutes, he remained in the water, only his majestic head and shoulders visible, his eyes calm, his breath steady. It was a perfect portrait of wild elegance. Eventually, he rose and stepped out, water dripping from his stripes, and sat on the bank, giving us an unforgettable view and some incredible close-up shots. Our guide explained he was now charting his own course, moving in the opposite direction from his sibling, exploring and preparing to establish his own territory. After offering us one last powerful look, he slowly stood up, and like a true prince of the forest, walked silently back into the wilderness, leaving us in awe and deeply grateful for a day the jungle chose to share so much with us. As the day drew to a close, we approached a quiet lake nestled deep within the forest. By the water's edge stood a majestic open-billed stork, glowing almost ethereal in its white plumage under the soft, fading light. It stood tall and graceful, perfectly still, a vision of balance and patience. Just then, a flash of blue and turquoise caught our eye. An Indian roller, perched proudly on a nearby tree. At first, it seemed like a lone sighting, but a closer look revealed a beautiful story unfolding. It was nesting season, and not one but both parents were on guard, vigilant and protective. One stood watch as the other flew in and out, their teamwork a quiet display of devotion and duty. In that peaceful setting, surrounded by the soft calls of birds and the gentle rustle of leaves, the forest whispered one final message: that life, in all its forms, thrives here in harmony. And just when we thought the day couldn't get more eventful, the forest surprised us once again. A female sloth bear emerged from the thickets, her snout buried in the soil, sniffing and digging, completely engrossed in her search for food. Her shaggy coat swayed with every step, her focus unwavering. As we followed from a respectful distance, a second bear appeared. This one clearly a male, much larger in size and stature. Unlike the female, he was bold, confident, and unbothered by our presence. Incredibly, he walked right up to our vehicle, close enough for us to hear the crunch of dry leaves beneath his powerful paws. He paused briefly, acknowledged us with a glance, then continued his foraging as if we were just part of the forest. And then, as silently as he arrived, he too faded into the wilderness, a powerful reminder that in Tadoba, the wild always has the last word. As we made our way through a rain-kissed stretch of the forest, the damp earth still steaming from the passing shower, we noticed what looked like a lone wild dog, resting calmly beside the road. Its russet coat blended perfectly with the wet soil, and for a moment, it seemed like a solitary wanderer taking a break. But then, the forest began to move. One by one, heads lifted, bodies stirred. And to our amazement, what we thought was one turned out to be a pack of 8 dholes, India's wild dogs, known for their intelligence, teamwork, and boundless energy. They sat silently, their keen eyes watching us, their presence both calm and electric. A rare and humbling encounter with one of the forest's most efficient and underestimated predators. In the soft light after the rain, it felt like we had stumbled upon a secret gathering of the wild. As we began to exit the forest, with hearts full and cameras brimming with memories, one final moment awaited us. A grey jungle fowl stepped onto the forest path, bold, elegant, and almost ceremonial. It paused for a brief second, looked our way, and continued on, as if to say, "Until next time, traveler." And just like that, Tadoba gave us the perfect farewell, quiet, wild, and unforgettable. I hope you enjoyed being part of this incredible journey through one of India's most majestic tiger reserves. Let me know what your favorite moment was in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious, stay wild, and I'll see you soon in another adventure.